Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Better. All right, so welcome to our space. We are Coding Bootcamp that teach you how to code amazing web applications in 9 weeks. And before we start, I would like to run a little open mic session. I'm not sure if do you have any recruiters in the room? You have recruiters? Do you have entrepreneurs who would like to maybe pitch your company? You would like to? All right, so let's start with you. Let me pass you the mic. You can stand up and just explain what you're looking for or why you're here tonight.
Okay, do you hear me well? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, thanks the organization, first of all, for having us here. And well, I'm Arturo Almarcha, and we are from Subo. Subo is a platform where you can buy and sell things through auctions. In Subo, you can purchase and sell whatever you have in your home inside 24 hours without moving from the sofa. So right now, we are hiring. So if you want to know just a little bit more about us, just let's have a chat after everything. And well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Anyone else? Recruiters that would like to, yeah? You want to go?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Tulio Bracho. I am the founder of Event, which is a financial coach that you can use online. This time, we are developing the MVP to get it ready to launch in July, and we are looking for talent in the tech space, and that's the reason I'm here to learn about all of you who are graduating today. By the way, congratulations. And if you're interested in the fintech space, just let's chat after the event, and I'll be glad to tell you more about the company.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Leia. I'm the founder of Tasty Hour, and I want to say food for good. So I'm developing a platform to connect food donations with NGOs, businesses like co-workings, and consumers. We want to change the world by saving food, and we're looking for developers for the app and the web app, and social media marketeers if you know anyone. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to use the mic for pitching, explaining why you're here? I don't know. No? Okay, thank you for everybody who volunteered to speak, so let's go ahead. So, first of all, I'd like to say that this journey has been amazing so far. This is actually the 10th graduation in Barcelona. So over the last 2.5 years, it's been amazing. We trained almost 200 people. Now they are spread all around the world using their superpowers and enjoying new tech skills. And I can define my feelings in 2 words tonight: proud and grateful. So I'm proud because as a mentor or a teacher, I have the honor of being part of this important chapter of your lives. And it's very fulfilling, I have to say. And grateful because I work with the best people I could ask for. And plus, I have the chance to meet inspiring and amazing people every 3 months. What else could I ask for? So, and the story is that we built Wagon for people like you. So people who don't settle anymore for just being a tech user, passive consumer, or a voiceless employee. You are the people who have the courage to say enough with others, what others expect from me, and it's time for me to take back control of my life and follow your dreams. And eventually, you will become the makers, the problem solvers, and the creators who will bring up solutions for what our world needs. So, to welcome 23 newborn creators tonight, I would like to introduce you to our dear teacher and Le Wagon city manager, Eline Buscas. Where is Eline?
Good evening, everybody. I'm very honored to represent the teachers tonight and also to take this new position as a city manager here in Barcelona. So tonight, we're going to start with something interesting. You know, sometimes, actually often, it can be hard dating. What if we would have an app that would help us break the ice with people? For example, tonight, you spotted someone, you want to talk to this person, but you don't know how. Welcome to Poke with Enar, Derek, Tori, and Ferdinand.
It's Saturday night at a bar at about 11 o'clock, and a young German stud is on the prowl. Oh boy, poor Ferdy. I mean, there's gotta be a better way, right? I mean, Ferdy probably just spent 30 minutes over here trying to muster up the courage to say hi. And obviously that didn't go well. Okay, he was a little bit nervous. He was probably a little bit awkward, and things just didn't really work out. But what if Ferdy had a little push? What if things didn't happen like that? We're gonna take you into our world and show you how Poke is gonna make Ferdy successful in the same situation. So first of all, welcome to pokemesoftly.com. You can also download the app on the App Store. But basically, let's say this is Ferdy a day earlier when he downloads our app. First, he's gonna see a list of Poke users. Now, this is a hyperlocal app. This list of people is all within a 500-meter radius, okay? It's gonna show you people from nearest to furthest away. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few profiles here. Everybody looks pretty interesting. So let's start with the professor. So Ferdy doesn't really like the professor. Let's go ahead and take a look at somebody else. Okay, so this guy looks pretty good. So we go down, and you get to know a little bit about the person. So my super secret superpower is he's black. Like really black. His truth or dare, he dares you to tell him the truth. Okay. Now, this seems like, as Ferdy, this is a little too much for me, so I'm going to skip on this one too. But now, I'm still thinking there's this girl, she's in a bar, we're clearly within 500 meters. Where is she at? Can I find her profile? Because that would help me. And eventually, we do. Boom, there's Tori's profile. We got a little bit of information. All that time we spent mustering up courage. So now we're going to go ahead and make this happen. Now, this is where this is different. Right now in the market, the apps that are similar to this are Tinder, Bumble, Badoo, things like that. But one of the big differences here is that you actually have a chance. On those apps, to make it happen, you have to match first. You can't say anything to anybody unless you match first. On this one's going to give you a chance before that. And the reason that everything's within 500 meters is so it can cause an immediate interaction right after, instead of going back and forth on online dating for months, weeks, whatever it may be. So let's go ahead and poke her. All right. So this is your chance. Now, a poke is one shot. Okay? One shot. So it's one message. Ferdy cannot just keep poking Victoria over and over and over again. It's not how this works. You get one message, you get one picture, image, or gift, and you get 100 words. Let's see what we can do as Ferdy here. So, what should I say? The cat got his tongue in this case. So, we'll make sure you're never speechless. Inspire me button. We have a few cool suggestions that you can go ahead and pick and be inspired and get a shot here. So, I like Starbucks. Do you think Victoria likes Starbucks? Victoria might like Starbucks. Do you work at Starbucks? Because I like you a latte. So you send it. Now, once again, in the whole spirit of meeting as quickly as possible, Victoria now gets 2 hours to respond to this message. Yes, no, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Ferdy cannot repoke Victoria unless 24 hours have passed. In the meantime, he can go on poking other people. It looks like I've been poked, actually. Click this, please. Julia poked Freddie. This is interesting. We just started this app. So let's go see what she said. I'm not a photographer, but I can picture me and you together. All right, now it's getting fun. Freddie kind of likes that. So Freddie will probably accept that message. Once again, in terms of encouraging things, we're going to go ahead and give Julia 10 messages and Freddie 10 messages, okay, to go ahead and arrange a meeting or an interaction. So poke realistically just finds its difference in making sure that you have an opportunity. And it's no secret, as you guys probably already know, with a lot of the other things out there, you're swiping right. The strategy for a lot of people is literally to swipe right on every profile. That's it. Imagine if somebody pokes you, and a poke is something that is special. It took time, you thought about it. You might have a different poke for somebody, or somebody looks up and they go, oh, I've been poked 20 times. They have 20 different things to read. It's going to provide you a good opportunity. And it's going to give someone like Freddie in this situation an opportunity to be successful and really, poke around a little bit more. Thank you.
So with poke, we saw that dating can actually be probably easier, but sometimes, especially for teenagers, that can look like pepperoni pizza and have some acne can be really hard, right? But thankfully, there is an app that solves this issue, and it's called Skin Clean, made by Jacob, Antoine, and Augustin to help teenagers solve their skin.
So thank you, Derek. I think that was a very inspiring pitch and a very good product. But what if actually you're not feeling comfortable in your skin? What if you have a face that's covered in acne? Would you put yourself out there? We're going to wait a bit until the technical problems are solved, and then. Okay, maybe to bridge this time, I'm sure some of you have had problems in your youth or even now with your facial skin, and so basically there were 3 options, right? And when we looked at it, it's a very embarrassing and sensitive topic. So what can you really do about it? Imagine you're 13, you don't feel comfortable. It impairs your self-confidence, right? And basically you have 3 options, okay? 1, you Google for advice. And what does it tell you? It basically tells you, hey, you're about to die. This is not good. And it's just very, very ineffective. The second thing is you actually Google for getting medicine or something. And then you'll probably land on some shady website, buy some ineffective medicine, right? And it's going to be overpriced. And it's not going to help you. And then the third option, well, big thanks to the technical team for fixing the issues. So we've had 1, you Google for advice. 2, you Google for medicine and buy something that doesn't help. And 3, if you're 13, you ask your mom or your dad to make an appointment at the doctor, which is very embarrassing. So what we did, we came up with Skin Clean. And we have the vision of improving the lives and the life quality, the self-confidence of teenagers in a transformative stage of their life. We want to do that through 3 things. First, we want to provide you scientifically sound medical advice by doctors. Secondly, we're going to deliver over-the-counter medicine right to your doorstep. And thirdly, we're going to connect you to a dermatologist near you. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's look at the process. How does this actually work? So it's a 3-step process. First, you talk to our nice chatbot, Judy. Then you answer some questions, and then you upload a picture of your condition. Basically, that's it. The diagnosis is sent to a real doctor, and you receive your diagnosis within 4 hours. Let's start. There we are in the chat. Judy sends us a nice message, and we have 2 objectives here, right? The first one being we want to be able to get information to allow the doctor to categorize the disease and to provide a meaningful diagnosis. And the second one is to at the same time make the patient feel comfortable providing this sensitive information. So let's jump into it. We type go, and then we're launching the chatbot. So now we'll have some questions that help categorize the disease. So there's the first question is, what percentage of face would you say is covered in acne scars? And there's, unfortunately, I don't have any, so we can go ahead and press I don't have any acne scars. The second one is that how often do you have deep, painful nodules on your face? And I must admit I have them quite often, so let's put for a week or 2 each month. And the next question is about if it's covering only my face or the entire body, and I only have it in my face, so let's put that here. And the next question is about what percentage of your face is covered by blackheads and whiteheads, and I have quite some of them, so let's put more than 25%. And like this, we try to get a mix of encouraging the user to say, hey, you're not the only one having this, and while at the same time getting meaningful information. And we want to do this in 4 minutes. So it takes you 4 minutes to get your diagnosis. So let's the last question. How much of your face is covered with red blemishes without pus? And again, I must admit it's more than 25%. And now we get taken to a camera, which allows us to take a selfie. So we can review our information, and then, okay, we're fine with this, let's submit it for diagnosis. And this is now being sent to a real doctor. And as acne is a skin that doesn't, a disease that doesn't go away overnight, we have multiple diagnoses which we see here. So 2 weeks ago we submitted one, we got initial advice, and we see, okay, we have already been diagnosed with this, so let's go check it out. And we see 4 hours. Okay, it was Dr. House, our trusted physician, who advised us. And we first get the real medical assessment, which is all those Latin terms everybody knows. But then in the second part, we get a real recommendation, which is more hands-on, which really provides practical tips which help you. So for example, you should wash your face more often, and we provide you with a specific recommendation of products that are selected for you based on the information we submitted. So let's go check out under the next steps which medicine we can take. And I think let's check out the first one, Asanya Gel. And we see, okay, this is how it looks. It costs $3, and we have a little description, what are the risks. And so now we could press on buy, go to the web shop and buy this. But for now, let's say, okay, this is the second time I've been diagnosed, it still didn't go away. Now I want to see a doctor that's near me and that can actually help me. So let's type in, we're in Barcelona right now, and let's see if there are any dermatologists who are specialized on the condition we have. And we see that there's actually 3. And I live near Sagrada Familia, so let's maybe check out who that doctor is. And then basically it shows you that there's some information and a phone number, and so that we now could call the doctor, make an appointment, and that's our app, Skin Clean, discreet professional advice for your skin problems. Thank you.
Okay. On a more serious note, let's talk about voting. Voting is a formal expression of choice, but unfortunately, a lot of statistics show that people don't vote enough. So tonight, there's going to be an application, a web application called Vote Booth, to encourage people to vote more and make the process easier. This web application is built by Julia, Rebecca, Jordi, and Pontus.
Good evening. I'm guessing most of you have heard about something called Brexit. I'm also guessing, unfortunately, that most of you know a lot more about a man called Donald Trump than you did a couple of years ago. Elections are events that shape the course of history, and they also impact us every day. But voting in elections is frankly a difficult experience. For example, when you get to an election day, what do? You have to actually go and vote. But what if you're busy and you can't get there? Your vote can't be cast. Or, let's say you get there, and actually you've forgotten your ID. Again, you can't vote. But let's say you've got there, you've got your ID, you get to the voting booth, and then you see a list of names, and you've got no clue who these people are. Who should you vote for? No idea. Voter Booth, our app, is a service that will transform this voting process. It does this by bringing the election to you. What this means is that you can vote wherever you are. It also means that you can run in an election and host an election. And finally, when you do all of these, you have all the information you need right at your fingertips. What we really want to focus on is getting young people engaged in the electoral process. So we're focusing on schools and universities in small-scale elections, and then we'd like to scale at some point in the future. So let's dive in and have a look at the app. So when you first come to the app, you see this page, Get Started. Let's scroll down a little bit and see what it does. So as a reminder, Voto Booth does three things. It means you can vote, it means you can build, i.e. you can host your own election, and it finally means you can run, you can become a candidate. So let's get started. When you get started, you go straight to your personal dashboard. Here, you see the three features of the app. Again, hosting, running, and voting. But let's go to the voting page, and let's see what 3 elections I can vote in. So first off, we have Le Wagon band president election. This is open, so I'll come back to that because I'd like to vote in it. Let's scroll down, and we can see I recently participated in seeing what new pet we should get for our school. And finally, there was a community manager, but it was a little bit of a while ago. So let's scroll up. Let me have a look at few candidates for Le Wagon band president. We're pretty passionate about music here in Le Wagon, so let's see who are the candidates. Okay, first off, Jen. She's all about classical music, which is cool. But let me scroll down. And we've got Tori, we've got Dre, who says, let's make sweet music. We've got someone called Freddie Mercury, and he's all about the bass. Let me read more. Great, cool. So here is his homepage, and what will tell me all about what he will bring to Le Wagon. Let's scroll down. Okay, he says he's a Costa Rican crooner, brought up on power ballads, but now converted to reggaeton. That sounds like a mix. Let me see what he has to say. It's coming. Worth the wait, but I'm going to go back and have a look at someone else. Let me go to Jen. Let me read more. So she's our classical music star. She says she's a Scottish psychology grad, picture taker, traveller, and ex-professional cellist. Cool. Let me see if we can hear from her as well. Cool. I am going to vote for her. So let me cast my vote now. And then I get to this page just to make sure that I'm voting in the right election, the Wagon band president election, and for Jen. Cool. Let's cast my vote. Great. So you can see that 27 people have already voted today, but we have to wait till the end of day, March 23rd, until we get the results. So let's go back to one that I voted for previously, the Le Wagon pet election. And let me see who won for that. The winner is Ruby, our latest addition. She's a parrot. She got 78.63% of the votes. Oh, sorry, that was election turnout. But she got 92 participants who voted for her. So that basically is how you vote on Voto Booth. Now, it may seem like some small school elections, but here at Voto Booth, we believe that this is the first step, because if we get young people engaged in voting now, it means that in the future, they'll go on to vote in all elections throughout their life. Thank you.
Well, now let's talk about a very nice subject, a real subject, food. I think it's time to talk about food. It's 8 p.m., it's Friday night, so let's talk about this subject. Would you like to know what's the best burger in town, in Barcelona? Yeah? The best patatas bravas, the best pimientos al padrón, the best sushi? Well, to get the real answer, let's have a look at Que Como. Beautiful web applications made by Frances, Antoine, Nicolas, and Doncho.
Right, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to start with like some questions. Who here uses like Foursquare or TripAdvisor to decide what to eat? Okay, a lot of you. Who actually like still struggles a little bit when they want to know what is the best burger or the best pizza in town? Okay, perfect. And finally, who like me is very indecisive and is struggling when they have to choose a meal from the menu at the restaurant? Okay, so perfect. Okay, so Que Como is the first user-generated ranking for the best dishes in town. Foodies are going to be able to find the best taco, the best patatas bravas, or the best pizza based on the votes made by other foodies. So for that, we've created like quite a unique rating system where you can vote only for one meal per food category. Okay, so let's look at the app now. So let's say we all love burgers, right? Yeah, all right. So let's see what are the best burgers here in town. So we're going to click on burger, and we can see a list of different burgers in Barcelona that have been voted as best by several users. So you have the name of the burger, the place where you can find them, and you see also the number of votes that they got. And here you can see that the icon is red. It means that me, as a user, I have voted for that meal as my best burger. So today, you can see here that our best burger currently is Requela Burger at La Caleta Burger. Right. So let's try something different today, and let's see El Centro Burger. So we can click on the meal. You get into the meal page. You can see some reviews made by other users and why it's their best burger in town. You can also click on the name of the restaurant to get some more information about that restaurant. La Centrale. So the restaurant is called La Centrale. You can also see that actually there are several burgers at La Centrale that were voted. You can also take a look at where the place is located on a map. A little bit slow to load, but it's there. Okay, perfect. So we've tried the burger at La Centrale. It's called El Centro Burger. We found it amazing, and we want to vote for it. So let's vote for El Centro Burger. Okay, we have a kindly reminder that we have already voted for a burger, for a meal in that category, and that we have only one vote, so we're going to change it. We're going to vote now for El Centro Burger in La Centrale as best burger in Barcelona. We can also upload a picture. Fortunately, it's not available for the demo, but we're developing it, and we can leave a review. It was delicious. And confirm, we have a small alert telling him that we have voted for that burger, and our review is here. Okay, perfect. So Now let's talk about another case where Kekomo becomes quite handy. Let's go to the homepage. And let's say that we are at a restaurant. We have the menu in front of us, and we're quite struggling. And so there is a very famous pizza place here called Parking Pizza. So let's go to Parking Pizza. Let's type Parking Pizza. And now we have like all the pizzas at Parking Pizza that have received votes, all right? So we can say that it's a safe bet to take pizza calabrese or pizza sopressata, right? Kekomo becomes quite handy. So we went to a pizza parking, and one of us actually took a meal from the menu that was not on the list and want to speak his mind. He wants actually to vote for that pizza because he really found it delicious and that it was the best in Barcelona. So he can click on this button here, don't see your meal. He can choose the name of the restaurant, Parking Pizza, the category, and Pizza Le Wagon. So we've created the meal, and now we can vote for it. So we can vote. We're choosing Pizza Le Wagon as our best pizza in Barcelona. Voila, it has received its first vote. So last feature now, if we go back to the homepage, or just click actually on the profile, you can go to our profile page and see the list of the different meals that we have voted for. So here, El Sancho Burger and Pizza Le Wagon. So these are currently the features that we have in our app. We have a lot of cool ideas in the pipeline. And so next time you're wondering what to eat, just think about Kekomo. And thank you very much for being here. And I want to thank Frank, Nico, Dancho, for working with me on developing this app in 2 weeks. It was a real pleasure to work with you guys. And to Le Wagon, from everything we learned and supporting us on this amazing project. Thank you.
Okay, let's imagine you are the owner of a very luxurious villa in Ibiza, but you only spend 2 weeks per year in that villa. What if there would be an app taking care of renting the villa the entire year for you and generating extra revenue? Well, this is My Emerald, built by Maxime, Stéphanie, Jennifer, and André.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Max. I'm the co-founder of Emerald. Emerald, as Eline said, is a collection of premium homes which we run like hotels. We launched the business 18 months ago. It's an actual business that's running. We have about 40 homes in 5 European countries. Up until now, we've been really focusing hard on making the guest experience excellent, of guests who are staying at our homes. But now we also wanted to focus on making the experience of our homeowners even better, which is why we're launching today My Emerald. It's an app that allows our homeowners to get real-time data on their homes and to interact with Emerald in one central place. But I think the best way is to hear from it through the eyes of Emerald homeowner Stéphanie.
Thanks, Max. Good evening, everyone. My name is Steph. I'm an investment banker from London, and I'm the owner of 5 properties across Europe. As you can imagine, I have 0 time to manage my properties, and frankly, even if I did, I would have no idea where to start. Which is why I decided to hand out all of my properties to Emerald so they can manage them on my behalf. Since becoming an Emerald property owner, my life has become so much easier. Like right now, for instance, I'm in Ibiza, by the pool, chilling with my friends, sipping some margis, while my properties are just generating cash. thanks to through bookings, thanks to Emerald. Only until today, there were still a few small problems. Say I wanted to know exactly how much revenue one of my properties was generating or how many bookings it was getting. Had to go through the whole painful email process, communicating with Emerald, waiting for their response, or be really patient and wait for them to release their quarterly report. In any case, the analytics report that I got was often quite hard to navigate, and the data, as you can imagine, they weren't in real time. But actually just today, Emerald released their first version of their My Emerald app, an app designed specifically for homeowners like me that allow us to view all their KPIs, to share stories about our homes, and also really importantly, to manage all the documentation linked to our homes. So that's been really a game changer for me. So now through my Emerald app, I can just log into my accounts and I can view all of my property, the portfolio of all of my properties right here. So here are my 5 properties. The first one at the top is my villa in Saint-Tropez, where I just spend maybe 1 or 2 weeks, every year during the Cannes Festival. My chalet in Megève, which I really love, but also just spend, a few weeks during the ski season. And then my 3 other properties, in which I also don't spend that much time just because I'm so busy. And so this is also why Emerald is here, and I've handed over my properties to them, and they're really busy looking for customers on my behalf, or guests on my behalf. So now, say I want to see how my properties are doing. So just from this page, I can directly access the analytics of all my properties, and it's really nice because here I view, so this is the KPIs for all my properties. And the really nice thing about this app is that these data are all real time. So they're actually connected to the central booking system of Emerald. And this is done through an API, so it's really very high tech. And also, if I want to see specifically the analytics for one of my properties, I can just do that. I can go in the filtering system. I can select the property I'm interested in seeing. In my case, I actually want to see all of my properties. I want to see how much revenue I've made through all my properties in the last trimester. So I've selected them all. That's really cool. Then I can select the last 3 months of this year and the current year. And that's going to give me an idea of how much cash, how much revenue I've generated, and an idea of the rent I'll be getting at the end of this quarter. So that's an amazing figure. I'll be able to get myself my Chanel watch, and I'm really satisfied with Emerald. Now, say I want to go back to my homepage, and here I want to select one other of my properties. So let's say I go into my my Saint-Tropez villa. Here I get a nice little snapshot of my property. So it's also, I get the KPIs at the top. I can also go directly into the analytics of that specific property. And I can also scroll down, look at the pictures, and from there I can add a little story that's specific to that picture, in that property. I can also go at the top and I can access directly the stories from that button. And so stories are basically something that's really unique to my home, something really special. It can be maybe a room that's special, maybe a piece of art, or or furniture. Here, for instance, this terrace was once used as a Hollywood film set. So I think that's a nice little story, so I've added it here. And then if you go down a little bit through the pictures, this fountain was designed by a really famous architect or sculpture in Saint-Tropez. So I've added that little story, and it's pretty cool because as a homeowner, it's a nice way, for me, I can actually actively participate in improving the guest experience. So that's a feature that I love of my Emerald, and something that I think other homeowners that will discover this app will also love. And finally, but not the least, my best friend in helping me keep all my paperwork related to my properties really nice and tidy is the inbox. So with the My Emerald inbox, here I have access. It's like a repository of all the documentation linked to all of my properties. And it's really nice and nicely organized with little colorful tags. And just recently I had my accountant who was asking me to send the invoice for one of my properties. So here I can actually go in the filtering system, and they were asking for the invoice for my Art de Vivre Élysée apartment in Paris. So I can just select that property, and then I can go in document type and select invoice, and in 2 clicks, I have my document and I can send it directly to my accountant, and she's super happy and I'm happy, and everyone is happy. So that's great. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, Emerald has been really great in sort of bringing me the level of transparency that I was looking, of user friendliness, and finally of access to real-time data. And yeah, so I can now go back to my pool and sip my margies.
So I'd just like to stress that my Emerald, up until a few weeks ago, it was like an idea. It was nothing. We had no idea how to code. We had, that was just like an idea in our minds. And now, after a few weeks of Le Wagon, this is actually a launchable product, and we're actually going to launch it in our business, like for real, which sounds pretty amazing to me. That thanks to Le Wagon and thanks to their teachers and teaching assistants, and of course thanks to our amazing team, Jennifer, Andre, and Steph, that we were able to do that, and I hope it will inspire others to ship their products as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jenny.
Well, as the last topic of tonight, let's talk about sport. Learning any sport requires some safety checks, especially if you're trying to play with the wind or riding the ocean. There is an amazing web application that was built tonight. It's called Kite Safe. It's an application for kite surfers community, made by Avalon, Marin, Chris, and Paulus.
Kitesurfing is a dangerous sport. A kite surfer harnesses the power of the wind with a large controllable kite to be propelled across the water on his board. But what if there's a strong wind offshore and the surfer gets blown out into the open sea? Or what if the wind speed suddenly increases, if there are rocks under the water that he hadn't seen and he crashes onto them? Well, my buddy Marin over here started kite surfing not too long ago. And as a beginner, he ran into this problem that he didn't know where there were the spots for him to go to where he could practice safely. So he came up with an idea and we built an app called Kite Safe. So Kite Safe is a community-driven app for beginner kite surfers where we match their level to the best and the safest spots around them to progress safely. Marin got me infected with the kite surfing virus, so I recently took a couple of lessons, and now I would actually like to know where are spots around me that I can go to practice to. So let's see how Kite Safe can help me. Here we've landed on the first page. As you can see, there's some information about how to use the app and how we will match you to your spot level. Let's go through it. They match my level to a spot around me. So first I will have to fill out a very short and quick form to know about my skill level. I can then pick a spot from the selection that they've made for me and then view a detailed description about this spot. So let's go. First, I need to pick my level. Like I just said, I've only had a couple of lessons, so I think I'm a beginner, but let's see what it says. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's select and continue. Here we are on the results page. These are the spots around you that are safe enough for you to kite safe. So let's scroll through them a little bit. We can see a nice photo, a title. We can see an average rating, weather conditions. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So let's go scroll through them. All right. They all seem great, but because I'm a beginner, I would go for the safest option. Let's go for San Sebastian's. It's a 100% match. Here we are at San Sebastian. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see the average user rating. We can see that it's a wavy spot. And also we see that right now it's a 33% match. This match is based on the weather conditions at this current time. As you can see, there's a little scroll bar. And per hour, we can see the wind speed and the wind direction. Obviously, for a kite surfer, it makes no sense at all to go kiting if there's no wind. And also, it needs to come from the right direction, so we are going in the right way. Once we scroll through them a little bit, right now, as you can see, we've landed where it's 100% match. So it would be the most optimal condition for me to go and kite surfing in a safe manner. We can see it's tomorrow around 3 o'clock. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see a detailed description, and after that we can see some advice. Some do's and don'ts about the spot. Where should I set up my kite? Is it a rocky beach? Is it a sandy beach? What should I look out for? And if we go down a little bit more, we can see what other kite surfers have said about these spots. Maybe they have additional advice, maybe they didn't like it, maybe they have some other tips. Once I've gone there, I can fill out a review about the spot and let other kite surfers know what I thought. So we're almost done. I would like to visit this spot, but let's see where it is. If we scroll down a little bit, you can see a detailed location and how to get there. Well, this is one way to use the app. The other way is, Marin recently told me about a spot called Castelldefels. It's not that far outside of Barcelona. And I would like to go, but I'm not sure if it would be safe enough for me to go. So let's go to the map. And let's type in Castelldefels. We see there's a lot of spots around me that I can look at. But here we have Castelldefels. We actually see it's 100% match, that the waves are flat, which is perfect for a beginner like me, and that the rating is 3 stars, which is quite okay. If we want more detailed information, just like the page from San Sebastian, we can click See Spot, but for now we'll leave it at this. Kite surfers are quite close in the community. So for us, it's all about helping each other. If we can go back. Okay. Okay, that's okay. No worries. So we are quite a close community. That means that we are all about helping each other. If there's a spot on the list that would need some extra advice, we can add it to them. But also, if there's a spot that is not on the list, for example, my favorite spot, let's say that's in the Netherlands, where I'm from, and I don't find it on the list, I can actually add this spot myself. So I can put in some nice photos, some advice for other kite surfers, the optimal wind direction, the optimal wind speed for this spot. And this way I can help beginner kite surfers to kite safely at the spot that is my favorite personal. Okay, guys. I would really like to thank you. This was it for Kite Safe. If you have any questions, please come and have a beer afterwards with us. And thank you for your attention.
That's a wrap up, everybody. So 6 projects built over the course of the last 2 weeks of this program. I don't know what you think about them. Did you like it? Yeah. We like them too. So I would like to give a round of applause of all the people who actually worked so much on these projects during this 9 weeks, actually learning and then applying the skills. So give it up to the Poke team. It was Freddie, Derek, Victoria, and Einar. Ski Clean with Augustin, Jacob, and Antoine. Voto Booth, Jordi, Julia, Pontus, and Rebecca. Kekomo, Frank, Nico, Antoine, and Doncho. My Emerald, Jennifer, Max, Steph, and Andre. And Kite Safe with Paul, Chris, Avalon, and Maha. This is it. This is the time for the batch 231 to hop off the wagon. 23 people from all over the world. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And now, actually, you're going to start with new beginnings. I don't know if you're going to be developers, product managers, entrepreneurs. If you're going to just like apply this new knowledge in your current jobs. But I'm very proud of you. This bootcamp was made by teachers who actually put all their efforts and body, mind, and soul into sharing the amazing knowledge. So I would like also to acknowledge, and all the teachers who are in the room, please join me in the stage. Where is Eileen? Join me. Eileen. So we're going to start a new adventure with fresh new students on April 8th. There are a few students, I think, in the room. Raise your hand if you're a student from the next batch. So we have Nam there, we have Cristobal, we have someone in the back. And then we have the summer batch on the 1st of July. And applications for both batches are open. It's true that April is a bit short time. But if you're interested, you can reach us out. And it's party time. Thank you very much.